$100, couple $100. So that would be the only thing I would say.
Thank you. Any suggestions on where to look?
I think I have an idea.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, just because the place I was telling you about, where I got this PC, I know they'd have something like that.
Sweet.
But I mean, if he has any suggestions too, I'd love to see what he brings. You know, we can kind of compare.
Yeah, like it depends on what you know. I went with the absolute cheapest ones I could find, and they were great. But I just had to be really aware of anything like wind, because they weren't very good at canceling out and background noise. And the best mics, you clip them to your lapel, they're small, and then they capture just the voice cleanly without a bunch of background noise, which is distracting. It's been so long though, any of the stuff that I used would probably, not be current. I think you can just find them on, like you say, on Amazon or, at any electronics store. And then if you build out, you'd want to, the next piece of advice I would give once you build out is lighting, to have proper lighting on your cameras. Like I had a camera mounted light, and it was designed with the correct color balance, and it would light up the face of the subject, which the audience finds appealing. Other than that, man, you guys have more internet experience than I do, and more experience producing a show than I do. So good luck. I'm really looking forward to seeing your content.
Me too. Thank you, old Joe.
Thank you.
No problem. See you guys later.
I'd like to invite you. You've got experience. You've got experience doing some of what the direction we're heading in. Can you make yourself available, please?
Yeah, I'll be down in chat, and I will. Are either one of you on Discord? I can message you.
I am.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll message you my contact on Discord.
I love it. Thank you,
Thank you,
brother. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right. This is starting off wonderfully. And now another guest I'd like to bring up is Frank Monday.
Yeah.
Unless you have anything.
Do the less crazy ones before we do the crazy ones. So
Okay.
good idea. Bring Frank on.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Frank, how are you, my friend? My brother.
Greetings and blessings, Jack. Doing well. Good to see you again, Landry.
Hey, good to see you. As I left, you arrived to Z, and I admit I kind of took off shortly after that to get ready for my own stuff. So,
yeah, no worries. You did a really good interview over at Zetetic Warrior. If people in the chat that missed it, make sure you go over and check it out later. It was a lot of fun. You had some turbulent waters with old what's his name showing up to throw some shade, but no worries there. I had a couple of suggestions. First off, for the idea of a Jack Talcott book, Live Without Fear. And so if I may, if you guys are open to that, my first suggestion would be for each chapter include an anecdote that kind of progresses the narrative of Jack's tale, right? So we've got the hero's journey as the fundamental framework of what it looks like. And then so a relatable anecdote, like a story of how you learned that in your life, and then support it with scripture and timeless wisdom. That would be my first suggestion, because those are the kinds of books that I enjoy the most, right? How did it play out in your life? I want to get to know Jack. And like he said, it could be a tangible thing as a showpiece that you give other interviewers, or other interviewers can check out, and it can get you a larger media presence. And it's got Jack's, the story of Jack. My second suggestion for that would be that the books that have stuck with me the longest throughout my life, I've been reading books and self-help and esoteric, occult, whatever, since I was a kid, since I was a tween, and the ones that stuck with me the longest were the ones that had interactive activities, like a workbook fashion. So you might include like a few suggestions at the end of each chapter, like, what about you? How did it play out in your life? What's your anecdote that supports scripture, and how does that, how did that work for you? That'll make people really grasp or grok the message, as it were. And I think it could be valuable. It may not be for you, but I think that would be a way that it would make it an evergreen book. You know what I mean?
I love it. Those are great observations and great suggestions, Frank. Thank you.
And then one other thing for Dallas, just real quick. Go see Alex Jones in Austin. He's right there, man.
Well,
that's a long trip to I mean, I would be all for it, but I don't know if we'd have the time. I think if
From Dallas to Austin, is it far?
well,
I
if
didn't know.
well, it's not that far. I mean, it's 3.5 hours, but it's one of those things where, like, for me, I'd want to rent a car if that was the case. I mean, it's possible, it's doable. We'd have to talk about it, but then I think we'd also have to get a hotel and just a few extra things. So, I mean, it's up to you, Jack.
It might be worthwhile. I mean, if you could get scheduled for an interview, I mean, from Don Lemon to Alex
Oh,
Jones,
there's no
that's
way
real.
we could do that in less than a week.
Yeah, that's really putting wind in your sails. Landry, don't be too skeptical. Jack's building big momentum right now, and so anyway, much love to both of you and good magic. I'm willing to hang around, or if you guys are just flipping through guests, that's what I wanted to say. So blessings and love to you both.
Thank you. Whoa, what is going on?
What happened?
Oh, man. Sorry, guys.
You lost us?
Gosh, what is going on here?
Yeah, when you start getting into areas of high strangeness, that's when the Grimalkins really come out and start unplugging you.
So true.
Holy cows. Okay.
Tomorrow is the last day of retrograde.
Is it?
Yeah.
Holy cows. I'm clumsy. Well, I apologize for my stuff, but here actually I went and unblocked Steven.
Can I ask you why?
That's a great question.
I mean, genuinely, like, I want to know why at this point. Of all the people, I mean,
no, absolutely. Absolutely. After seeing what here, you know what? What am I doing? Why is that clown even here?
what do you think, Monday? What do you think about this? What do you think about the Steven situation?
Oh,
He's
Steven
gone.
hates me. He's got nothing but negativity for me. So
He
I
has
don't
nothing
know.
but hate for humanity.
Yeah.
Seems to be the case. Yeah. Seems.
Okay. So I apologize for that interruption, that distraction. Let me bring up Tommy, which we'll have patience. We'll have more patience, I think. I have more patience with Tommy than I do with Steven.
Lies or lack of awareness. Now, I literally just came off your yesterday's show, making me late for this. And on yesterday's show, Joe said that he likes my critical thinking, but doesn't like my delivery. And that gives no accountability to my delivery, as usually based on the fact that you have chosen violence today. Like, Jack, I gave you a great show last time and you still punked me around. Didn't even have the chance to come up here and show you it's not a thing to me. But this, I keep trying to accept and say I like Modern Man. The dude is fucking up.
You've never spoken to me.
Are you that retarded?
No, I'm not retarded. I'm saying that you've never come on the show, engaged with me directly, or had any sort of narrative with me directly, because it's clear that you have.
Then why am I one of the crazy ones?
Because you've shown yourself to be crazy in plenty of other ways. People, you come on, I can't understand what you're saying. It's more so.
Yeah,
like I said, we could make a poll. I'm sorry, I can't understand you.
I muted him so you could try.
Well, all I'm saying is that, like, it's an incoherence. You know what I mean? Is what I would say. And I mean, old Joe had feel free to think what he wants, but for me, I'm always listening. What is this person saying? How has it been communicated? Do they have good, communication skills? And for him, it's just like never been. For me, 99 times out of 10, I can't really understand what is the purpose, what is the message. I just don't get it. So, what I mean, like, when I say he hasn't, like, addressed me, I mean, he's talking to you. Usually, I'm here.
Right.
But, I mean, and that's fine. It's his right. He doesn't have to talk to me. But I mean, that's
right.
I wouldn't expect him to like me because I'm trying to raise the standards.
Yes, and he wants the standards. He wants things to stay the same. And so,
Steven.
Yes, exactly. Landry, thank you. Sincerely.
And if I may, they do all of the things that they accuse you of doing, which I've never found you to do. And I find that completely backwards. I've tried 3 times to get on his show and he just mod gods me and shuts me down. And it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to try again. Because I just wanted to, I wanted to put water under the bridge, and that's not something they're interested in. They're not interested in reconciliation or healing. They're just in it to win it and create content that's dramatic and sensational. It gets boring after a while. It doesn't have evergreen value like your book's going to have. Your book's going to become a timeless classic. People in future generations will pick it up off the shelf and be like, "Who's this Jack Talcott guy?"
It's simply a step. It gives me more credibility, more appearance of, well, it also gives more people a reason to talk to me. If we do get a book together, it increases the odds of an Alex Jones or someone else wanting to talk to me. But there's many ways. There are many, many, many ways to succeed in life. And I tell you what, I have found the mindset for success completely. Hey, Stephen, I did unban you from the StreamYard, but yeah, I'm convinced you're not coming up. I'm easily reached. Good. You chose to depart. And I respect that choice.
With him, I don't understand. Like, I do understand. It's the same thing. It's these people, they have some sort of obsession with you in the sense of like, what is it that I can do to get one over on him? Like, how can I? It's almost like they're seeing how far they can push you. And like, feels good to them. It's like, it's a satisfaction as far as like, the more they push, the better they feel about themselves.
Yes. It's the sickness. It's the sickness of a human ego that's not conscious, right? They're not aware of how they're how they're putting themselves out. They're just so concerned about what they think. And I've exhibited, I don't know. I hope I was never as bad as some of these people, but I know what's in me. I don't like giving up on people, but
you're not doing that. You're just taking control of your broadcast. I know you're available privately anytime they want, right? Exactly. Anytime they want privately, you're always there.
That's exactly right. And so, Tommy, you're in the back. I was actually concerned about you the other day with the way that your stream ended, with the offline interactions we heard. I cared about you as a friend, but I don't know how to reach you. But you know how to reach me, Tommy. So please, show me offline that we can communicate, and you will be embraced and celebrated here. But not again today.
Yeah, the only real issue I have, like specifically Tommy or Queen Stephen for that matter, they're somehow similar but yet dissimilar as well, is that we're all grown men. I think, in fact, I'm probably older than most of you. I'm 54, and they talk down to me like we're kindergarten children and we don't have valuable life experience of our own. That it just seems ludicrous to me.
It's the world we live in. The online just represents that sector, this part of the world we live in, but we're ordinary people. The world we live in is people live in confusion. I'm speaking from experience. My time spent with addiction, I couldn't get out of my head. I didn't know that was my problem. I didn't see my problem was me. This is the world we live in. America is the biggest problem for the rest of the world. And we don't admit it. We're walking around like America is the greatest thing in the world. And our military has invaded every... America has so much room for improvement. And the topic today, honestly, hey, there you go, Jack. Becoming greater. That's the vision I see. All of us. We are all becoming greater, and we become greater together, easier than we do when we step apart. What else, Landry? I just remembered you again. How do we respect you and your time?
You just remembered me. No,
I
I mean,
did.
this is great, dude. This is great. Like I said, I'm not here to just like dominate or take over or tell these people not to come on. It's really not it, dude. It's just
No.
it's a. I look at it from perspective of, like I said, raising the standards. Same thing I want to do with this project that we're working on in the real world, and it's really a matter of, I see a ton of, and this is what I've said, is I've been in the position where, you know, you don't know where to turn to in the realm of the algorithm, because we get systematically like blocked into these areas, and it's all intentional because they want people to be thinking that all that they see is all that there is. So that's why there's these corners that we don't really realize there's other places out there, because we don't control it like we used to. I mean, there was a freedom on the internet back in the day. It's not really here anymore. So we don't realize that we're in this community and it's kind of away from the rest of the world. But if we weren't here, I think people would realize how hard it is to find this kind of thing. So it is valuable in that way, but it is being taken advantage of, and it is kind of it's such an easy, what's the word? Like the entrance to the becoming a part of it, even just okay, I guess the barrier to entry is what I'm thinking of, is so low that anyone can do it. Anyone can do a broadcast, and they can do it from their phone with just like, you know, airplanes in the background and like fire alarms going off, and just, it's not even like any sort of, nobody's trying to be professional and not saying that they have to, but if we were, would we not be doing ourselves a favor? Would we not be like improving the way that truth looks? I mean, because if people come in here, and I was one of them, and I see this guy's got a good message, but what do I see? No, you suck. No, you suck because you're this stupid asshole that did this and the other day. It's just like, who wants to see that? Who just like stumbles into something and is going to be like, well, definitely not what I want to be a part of, and then they maybe just back out before they even try. All right, I'm done.
Hey, that's absolutely right. There's something to be said about the way it's delivered. Hey, Narcadia, you're kind of missing the point, especially here. That man is a family man. To me,
My baby was not crying. She was screaming.
Right, that
she was
too.
Just talking. You know what I mean? She was just the baby sound.
Yeah,
That
she was rejoicing and making the heavenly sounds of the celestial realm. It was like honey dripping off a hot biscuit. I had kids, so I know. That's something you're embrace it. Love your child.
He does. And the thing is the last example of how people are just storytellers, right? They'll take innocence and twist it, and it'll be something bad. And this is a common idea, Noah. Truth can be ugly, but truth can also be glorious and majestic and beautiful. And it is. The truth is, our children are, they are the closest to divine that we can have. And I'm sure there is a purpose behind everything. Right? Yeah. No kidding, Trexty. She's a treat in comparison to the tantrums of the grown men up here.
Amen.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's the thing, dude. It's like, and people don't realize that how these same people who call me out and like say that I'm an incel are the ones who are saying, "Oh, my crying baby." It's just so funny to me. These people are just, it's all flipped upside down in this world.
It is. Well, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's the world we've been given. And there's a lot of damaged people, and a lot of people don't even realize they are damaged. That was me. I would tough out my problems, and I wouldn't talk about things, and I'd ignore how I felt. And then, I'd complain. And so my life was literal hell for me. And I'm pretty sure no one around me knew how to help. But hey, we have another amazing opportunity. Zetetic Warrior has joined us. Welcome, brother.
Greetings, Jack. Good to talk to you again, my friend.
Are you in a dark room? Like, is it just a background?
It's the abyss of nothingness that I'm basically walking on the precipice of. That's really what it is. It's just I exist in some ether realm, and this is just, I don't know, a representation of my echoey consciousness. Yeah,
You
it's
have-
yeah, it's
you
just
are-
it's a black background.
You are such a showman. You really do what you do with class, and I'm genuine about my admiration of you. So for those who missed it, I shared it earlier. Before this stream, I started out over there with Zetetic Warrior. I'm assuming you finished yours up?
Yeah. I'm here
Okay.
with my attention focused solely on you, Jack.
And Z, do you have your own intro music? It probably should be The Greatest Showman.
No, it's weird. Although I have theme songs for almost everybody, not myself. I need a Landry theme song. I don't know. I can't quite pin it down. I'm not sure.
Can it be my own theme song? There's no words in it. It's just audio, or it's just instrumental.
Sure, why not? I'd have to listen to it.
Here. I didn't share the exact link, but I got you down there in the so yeah, there was a stream earlier. We made some announcements. We shared openly some of the conversation. Well, that was the point of our earlier conversation, was to openly share what we're doing. And the book thing is real. The documentary thing is real. It appears the live event thing is real. So there is so much happening. And then with this, I can see true exponential growth, right? Just like taking off in numbers and impact and influence. And we are rising together. That's the whole point, too. It's not just Jack, that's for sure. It's us. And that's what I love.
Well, here's the thing. What else are we going to do at this point, Jack? Meaning to say, we can keep cycling in the old. We can keep rehashing every perceived mistake, slight, etc. Or we can embrace an energy of cooperation. We can set our intentions towards something and maybe see how that works out. I'd rather do that. That's the energetic game I'd rather play. Frankly, it's more interesting for me, and that's kind of how I want to live my life. And if we are going to embrace the live without fear moniker, well, then we should do so. And a lot of that is having the courage to move forward in whatever way that is, and break expectations, challenge people's limited understandings that they have of us. Oh, what does Z have in common with Jack? What does Jack have in common with this person? But that doesn't matter, because it's an energy, you see? So if the energies are right, that's all that matters. You don't need to understand every little thing in this world. We can't use our limited minds to plan every little thing out. It won't work. You'll face resistance, and resistance leads to conflict. Resistance leads to so many dysfunctional energies. So there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with just being courageous and moving forward for whatever it is. And again, we'll just challenge people's belief systems. And maybe that's what it's all about.
Yeah, there's no reason for us to constantly remain in the low level of ideation where it's just ad hominems. We need to raise it up like Socrates to the level of ideas. You know, even the events are good. And Jack, tell us more about your real life event, IRL, that you got coming up. Dallas, you said, right?
Well, I'll be going to visit Landry in Dallas in the very near future. Details are still being worked out, but I'm committed. And
I got a little layout so far, but I was just it's kind of like places rather than the messages, just because that's the easiest thing to start with.
yeah,
Hold on, I'll pull it up if you want to kind of see what we're looking at here. So you can see we got is it there?
yes.
Is it big? Is it? Can you read it, or should I zoom in?
Zoom in if you can, please. There
Look
you
what's
go.
up here. Okay, the JFK spot, abandoned malls, micro center. This is a place where they have really cool, cheap technology. I was thinking we could visit some small churches, perhaps, and some mega churches. Kind of talk about those things. There's the downtowns. There's a downtown. Libraries are great places to not really talk to people, but just rather than kind of look at some of the books they have there. What I do with the library is I look at a bunch of stuff and then it gives me ideas. You know what I mean? Farmers market,
Yes.
like-minded people. Barnes and Noble, same thing. Books. Deep Ellum, that's a place where they have it's a very kind of like ghetto area, but it's also where everyone goes to hang out on the weekends. Bishop Arts, same thing, except this is really cool, like sort of artsy. A lot of like handmade art and stuff is down there. So then I got the task where you get you a new mic to tape on your shirt, a fancy nice one. There's a beach here if you wanted to go there. Duval Lake House if you wanted to do a little lake house shoot. Windstar is a casino if you wanted to talk to people at a casino. And then none of these are obviously set in stone, but it's just some brainstorming.
I love it. I love all those ideas. And I want to actually invite What's Up Cynthia. If you're in the chat and you're available, she might have some wonderful ideas, suggestions too. Here, the equipment. Yes, I'm excited for that part because I think my laptop, it just froze and locked up. And
it's doing that a lot lately, huh?
Yeah. So maybe it's time for me to look at something. And when I'm there, you'll be able to see and know better, right?
I'll tell you, dude. Like I said, I know I keep harping on this, but just the feeling of just power of having like 32 gig RAM, it's just like unbelievable because it really is just like this is what I'll give Jaron credit. He used to always tell me, you need a good PC if you want to do anything. Like you need a good PC, and it's just like, well, I want to be able to move it around, so I need a laptop. It's like, well, there's expensive. I mean, the laptops that are powerful are super expensive, but there's stuff to. It's worth investing in.
Dude, okay, yes, we'll talk about the equipment investments and absolutely that idea from Joe regarding the mics. And here, Z, you still there?
Yeah.
Beautiful. You have a way of communicating. I mean, I watch you with Snafu. And Landry, if you can be patient with Illumitami.
Oh, I don't mind, dude. Bring me in. I'm about to jump off here in the next 10 minutes anyways.
Okay. All right. Do anything else come up for you?
Honestly, no, this might be a good time to jump off. I'm going to be doing some tattoo design later on. If anyone wants to come contribute to those concepts, feel free to. Just going. I don't know, man. I'm just stepping out of my comfort zone. That's the thing. I've been in my comfort zone for so long, and I mean, every time I go too deep in that, everything just starts to kind of go south. So that's what I'm doing here, and maybe it's not even comfortable for me to do what we're planning on doing, but that's why I'm doing it. It's like you never feel taking risks is always a good feeling. You know what I mean? So thank y'all.
Hey, I think the risks we're taking, it's going to pay off. Sincerely, I appreciate everything you brought.
All right.
I'm going to toss you out. Thank you. Sincerely. Now, Illumitami appears to have stepped out, but we've got Cage has popped in. How do you do with Cage, my friend?
I just got off with Cage. We just had a really enlightening conversation on my show, and it was very productive. Now, that's exactly the opposite of what happened. But if we can reframe it with a positive bent, then maybe this time around we could enable the future that we wish for.
That's it. That is a big part of it. If we can treat people the way we want them to be, treat them as though they're already the wonderful guest, the polite person, whatever. It helps it become that way easier. And actually, Lumitami had been waiting for a while, so let me switch gears back. Cage, please be patient. Thank you. Tommy, welcome, my friend.
Oh my god.
Z, you were AI voice before AI voice. I agree with Jack. You sounded like an AI whenever you came back.
I thought it was. Sorry to interrupt
Mind.
you. Sorry.
I hope you weren't asking Z while I reset my stuff. I hope you weren't asking him to facilitate communication between us because we're old friends, Jack. I don't think our problem is communication. I think your problem is acceptance of that communication. Jack, do you know what my advice is for your live streams and where you're going?
Please
Go to someone in DC and show us you can end wars. Now you're running from DC to have us tell you what to do with your channel? You're asking us for the content, Jack. You've got nothing.
Tommy, here's what I want you to think about. For many years, people have been saying, Jack, you need help. And I've been saying, yes, work with me.
That's not what they mean. They mean the way, well, it's not gaslighting when they tell you you need help because you're not accusing them of something they're doing. Do you know what gaslighting is now, Jack?
Please educate me.
Okay, it's ironic because you are the most gaslightingest motherfucker out here. It's when people are accusing you of something you do to them, and rather than own up to it, you'd have them question their own sanity. You know, this world is crazy. Donald Trump is crazy. Elon Musk is crazy. Illuminati's crazy. Poland slave's crazy.
That's literally what you do. Here, tell you what, Cynthia is here.
On my show.
I'm sorry, Tom. I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to welcome back. What's up, Cynthia?
What up, homie? I just heard you're coming to D-Town. We have got to have lunch and do an interview like I did with Joe Cool.
Would you please?
I will. Oh, when are you? Where's my calendar? When are you coming to town?
We're working out the dates.
Okay.
But I hope to book the ticket tonight or tomorrow, and I'm looking at this week.
Okay.
This next week or the week after. So whatever.
Right. Well, you still have my number?
Oh, that's right. I meant to text you earlier and I couldn't remember. I wanted to look and see if I did.
Yeah. Because oh my gosh. Where am I gonna host? Landry, you're in he's not up here. He's in the area too. I'm thinking downtown Dallas, we're gonna do your interview. On the Clyde Warren Park. It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be perfect.
Cynthia, yes, thank you. Hold on. I have a number.
Does it end in 5029?
Here. my mind doesn't work that well doing two different things. You did it. I sent you something. So
okay. As soon as you know, give me a call and let me know, and we are linking up.
I love it.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Have a great show.
Blessings. Thank you to you. Z, that's what we're talking about.
Well, just like that, that's it's one of the unexpected things. So you do a thing, you set a thing in with your intention, and then there's the unexpected outcomes that you couldn't anticipate. You see, so that's kind of how it works. So now you can go and you could hang out with another collaborator.
Yes. Cage.
What's that reaction, Jack? What did we just see there?
Well, I brought up the super chat, and then I read the super chat, and that super chat didn't need to be shared. I appreciate the contribution, Cage, but he's coming in with accusations. So not the right attitude for here and now, but let's see where this goes. Okay.
It's not an accusation. It was live done on his fucking panel. Yeah, I think I should dress you up and make you play with a doll, Mr. Mazio, and put you a fucking blonde wig on your head, you little bitch from New Jersey. Yeah, what about that?
Okay.
And it concerns me that you're a fucking pediatric audience.
I'm rubber
And
and
you
you
worked
are
with
glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you, Cage. Cage is another one, Jack, who's been here from the beginning. 3 years. I like
These guys
Cage.
they're living in the past. They're digging up the dirt out of your past and throwing it in front of you, trying to create obstacles. It's not good magic, man. It's bad magic.
It is.
Look, whatever. It's just going to empower us. Here's the thing, and I've said this a billion times. I'll say it again here in Jack's show. This has to happen because it's a refining process. Because Jack could stand up here and he could suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous comments, and the same thing with me and you, Frank. This is the refining process that allows us to do this, because not everybody can get up here and do this. You put your face out here, you get a little bit of traction, you get the blowback. A lot of people run screaming. But if you can sit here and you can face the adversity, then you're better off for the process. Then you prove yourself worthy. And this is what I was saying to everybody about Jack. You know, he was on my show and was getting a lot of comments. I said, look, Jack's he's proven himself. We've done the thing already. You know, at some point you say, okay, like I say, blood in, blood out. You got to get jumped in or you got to get effed in. I don't know which one Jack did, but either way, he's already in. We've done this already. People like Cage are not in. They're on the outside. He hasn't done what he's needed to do. He hasn't proven himself. He hasn't shown himself to be of stature. So therefore, Cage, you can stay on the outside, backbiting, throwing shit, slinging mud, and Jack and I and others will come up and do our thing. Fair and square. That's the way it is. Too bad we're still here, everybody. Jack and I are still staring at you right in the face 3 years later. Hasn't stopped. Although many of you have tried.
They have. It's truly fascinating. But these people that are here with us, they're trying to prove themselves. They're trying to prove their worth by finding us worthy adversaries, right? I'm definitely worth people's time, like Tommy and Snafu and Steven and all these other characters. It's funny, man. And I know I'm not alone. You guys face this as well. It's part of the territory, I think, in today's age, because we live in this world where everyone's trying to push each other down. It really is crabs in a pot pulling each other down while the rich get richer.
Look, like I said, Jack, we can do the old thing or we can do the new thing. The old thing's been done. It's kind of boring, really. How many times can you just do the same thing?
Right.
Frankly, it shows a lack of creativity, honestly. And it's kind of desperate. So even for me, just to engage in something creative, that's all that matters for me. I've said this before. This is a me game, really. This is an internal process. Frank and I were just talking on my show previously about transmutation, alchemy. Jack and I have talked about it. Becoming something more than you were with intention. You know, that's the craftsmanship. It's taking something base and turning it into something more. This is the process that we must do with ourselves. That's the experience. That's really what it's all about. And it requires something. It doesn't just happen. There's an investment that needs to be made. No one need define it for us. We define it for ourselves individually. That's it, plain and simple. So I don't know.
Yeah, and the only thing about, oh, Jack, you want to go first?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say the only thing about dwelling in the past too much and rehashing a lot of that over and over again, it's not necessarily entirely off center, but it creates a great barrier for entry into people who are coming at it fresh. And so, like Z said, out with the old and in with the new. You know, we could do the old thing, but let's do the new thing. That can get more people on board. That's something people can grow with. Whereas the old thing needs to be addressed as well. But yeah, it creates a barrier for entry.
The key to our world, the key to what's good on the micro is the macro. The one is the same. It's just once you see these patterns, you can't deny it. The key to life is to have goals. Hello, right? And goals means you're going to be changing something. And so I was so comfortable in my past experience. I was terrified when things changed. I didn't know how to be without a paycheck, how to be without a support system. But this is that refinement stuff that Z's talking about. We've been through our tests. And so those who are worthy of testing, they're also worthy of blessing. And I feel quite blessed, to be honest, to be a part of this experience, this live without fear experience, right? And to be a part of the Zetetic Warrior experience and the Paul Unslaved experience. But the past experience has created us to where we are, and it is time to put the old battles away. Because you can see people who lack goals and lack purpose, where are they going to spend their time? In the past. It's an easy fix. What are your thoughts?
And here's the other thing, just from like the perspective of Tao, is that we've got time enough for that later on in life as we're young and we're growing through. And I still consider myself to be young, even though I'm probably the eldest amongst us here, right? I believe I'm a couple of years older than you, Jack. But that too much like retrospection is not necessarily the time we're in, right? We need to grow with the present and move into the future and still command and commandeer some things. All of this reflecting back on like with some of these guys, they're bringing up stuff that happened. I know it happened 3 years ago. You guys have been on a long journey together. But again, the people like me who just showed up a year ago, we don't have the inside baseball that would be requisite to bridge the gap and get involved. So we have to allow that. We have to lower the drawbridge sometimes and let the new folks in to the outer court at least.
Cage, thank you again for your contribution and for your continuing support. You're sick goofs. I'll never comply with evil. You know, what determines compliance? What determines evil? By the mere state of being, we probably break some sort of rules. But the reality is, just the mere fact of our being alive, it really defies logic. Our scientists can't explain when it started or how it all became, but we know that we are. We know that we were in the past. We know that we are right now. But to really improve your life, from my personal experience, to improve your life, stop judging. Stop judging everyone and everything and start accepting. Practice acceptance and practice gratitude. Because I tell you what, it just following the logic of these things. Ooh, and actually, Z, here's something I'd love for us to somehow coordinate and work with. And I should mention this to Landry too. the idea of some direct messages. I'd like to help refine, like you were talking about earlier, I'd like to help refine what it is I'm trying to communicate, and then do so to some target audiences, particularly men and women of Congress and men and women in police uniforms, military uniforms. We got a lot of potentials and a lot of opportunities. Any idea, any thoughts on that?
I mean, why not? Here's the thing, that a universal message can break down all kinds of barriers.
Yes. Yes.
We were talking, it's like this idea, when you really look at the idea of consciousness and spirituality, it all comes down to the same fundamentals. And there's certain things that resonate amongst all people, across culture, across everything. So this is the idea. So whether or not somebody responds, that's really on them. But maybe, again, everybody's ready for like a new thing.
We are.
We can't hold on to anything from the past. We're looking at an exponential growth in humanity, the likes that we've never seen.
Yep.
So it's completely, if you look at this generation and you compare them to the generations that we know, the generations of our parents and grandparents, a culture that we were connected to in some way, it's a completely different humanity, but it's the same people. It's the same emotions. It's the same story. It's nothing new under the sun. So how do we take the universal aspects of humanity and incorporate them into this new world? People need to hear fundamental truths. Now, can anybody know the truth? Of course not. But when you have people cooperating, when you have people participating in a collective consciousness, you can approach some degree of truth. And it's more important now than ever, because the system's going to tell you what the world is. They're going to define your world for you based on factors that serve their purposes. We need to remind the world and anybody who will listen that there are certain fundamentals that will never go away. It doesn't matter. The technology can grow and grow and grow and merge into whatever they want to bring us into. It doesn't change our spirit. It doesn't change our emotions. It doesn't change the connection that we need to have with each other. Plain and simple.
Exactly. And that common connection, I'm thinking, the more I'm thinking, I know it's true. Honesty matters. Above all, honesty matters. In the eyes of truth, honesty matters. In the eyes of everything, honesty matters. And this is what I came to realize myself, this comment from Divine Spark. If in fact God created everything, why would we fear the devil or Satan more than the Creator? Live without fear. God eternal is within the body. Everything is inside. Bloom, baby, grow. Right? We're here to grow into the most amazing creatures that we can. And some people, they explore boundaries. It's within us. We're created to push the limits, to expand the boundaries. That's natural in life. But learning how to manage this pattern of defiance and rebellion, learning how to balance that with cooperation and with flow, that's been the struggle for me. Because I like to fight. I had a habit of liking to fight.
Well, it's another addiction.
It is. Hey, we've got another guest I want to bring up real quickly. Z, someone mentioned it in the chat earlier, and the idea is in my head. By train especially, you're not far. I would love for us to do an in real life soon as well. Okay, and I'd be happy to come to you, travel to you.
Look, it's
So
not a bad idea.
beautiful. We'll work out the details. Rocky, how have you been?
All right. Doing good. Can you hear me okay?
You're coming in strong. Yes. How are you?
I'm doing good. My just working on my hydro. It works half the time and then it don't. I got to figure out what's going on. So
You're
how you
what?
guys doing? I came up. I haven't seen Z for a long time. I'm subbed, but I never get any of his notices. So it must be the algorithm must not want me to see him or something.
Well, blessings, Rocky. Thank you. I haven't been on in a while. I was on today and I was on the other day. So just try to resub or whatever. You'll probably get them. Bless. Good to see you.
See my
Rocky
shit.
Shepherd.
Fear is not what? Is not a virtue. I love that. It is not a virtue, and yet many people wear their fears like they're proud. People have been, people are fascinating. We're incredibly strong and powerful, and at the same time extremely fragile and sensitive. So people, every one of us, we've got to find these balances of who am I? Where am I as far as fitting in? And where am I as far as what I'm doing? The world profits from people's confusion. So the wonderful thing about us being powerful is we're able to adapt. Well, we've adapted to a world that is not healthy. It's not healthy to live the lives of many people like I used to live. Dude, my story is a story for it's friggin' hilarious. My life story is friggin' hilarious. And there are so many little stories that put it all together. But I think that's what we all are. We're all kind of funny, different stories.
Yeah.